Greetings, Goddess Body Mind Spirit community. This is Tyra Omilade, your goddess guru, your sister friend. And you know, I love helping women align with their life purpose using the power of ancient wisdom and the goddess centered lifestyle. It feels so good to be back here, and I'm going to talk about the astrology for June. Let's do this, Queen. Greetings, goddesses. Oh, my goddess. Feels good to be back. I have been away way longer than I wanted to be because, yeah, May has been so interesting. It's May 31st at the time of this recording. And um, my younger son graduated from college at the top of the month, graduated with an art degree. And then this past Sunday, my older son got married to the love of his life. They met at the academy. So, they're both in the Coast Guard Academy, and my husband married them. The bride was gorgeous. Oh my gosh, the groom, gorgeous. But yeah, it's just been very it's been a lot. It's been a lot. So doing that, me and the ladies who are in the Aleke initiation, we have gotten ourselves going. And so it's been me saying, I've got to get back to making the videos and going live and connecting with the goddess community, the G Hive. So yes, just want to say I feel good to be back. And thank you for being here. If you're new, welcome, 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 Queen. I love supporting women. I love spirituality. Yes, I love all things goddess. So here to talk about the astrology for the month of June. Some pretty impactful, it's just another installment in 2025. What can we say? You can see there at the bottom of the screen before I get started, there is the Free Your Menopause online summit. And your girl, yes, me, I am a guide in this summit. I bring in talking about working with the goddess, of course. Of course. So feel free to sign up, especially for those of you who I would say 40 plus easily, easily. This will be a great summit for you. Even if you've already gone through the change in your postmenopausal, I guess we could call it, this will be a great summit for you. I know the perimenopausal ladies who are having hot flashes are going to sign up real quick, fast, and in a hurry. I am very passionate about talking about menopause. My time with menopause was hard, but yeah. Just want to invite you. It's being hosted by my friend Lisa Hunter, and she's one of my fellow Master Women's Circle facilitators, and she's a ceremonialist, I guess you could say. She's very adept at ceremony, and she's passionate about menopause and approaching it in a whole new way. So link in the description box, and join us. Doesn't cost anything. Doesn't cost anything to join. So, yes, let's talk about June. If I say May, I apologize. I mean June, but it's been a long May. May has been long for me. So, the thing that I noticed that is very interesting about this month is the number of planets that are shifting signs. So that's what stands out the most. And we'll talk about that. We have the full moon in Sagittarius, new moon in Cancer. Okay, so first of all, we're going to have Venus move into Taurus. So Venus in Taurus is excellent. Venus, since maybe right at the beginning of May, has been in I can't remember when she moved back into Aries, but she had her retrograde, went into Pisces, well, went into Aries, then went back into Pisces, then she came back into Aries. So she's been around the same part of the astro wheel for a while. And we have to just make do. Wherever planet is, if it's not necessarily comfortable in that particular sign, we have to learn the wisdom. We have to be okay with the lessons. One of the things that I'm learning through the Odu, the wisdom of Ifa, is this Odu Irosu Meji. And it talks about learning to be with discomfort. And so that's what it's been like with Venus being in Aries. And so when she moves into Taurus, she's comfortable. That's what's called domicile. She's at home. And so Venus there, what means that she'll be operating fabulously. Now, Venus is about money, relationships, care, like how are you caring for yourself, self-worth, self-value. I'll even bring in self-love. Uh, she has to do with our desire. What do you desire for your life? She's all about attraction and good fortune. She wants balance and harmony. She's such a beautiful planet. And so it's like she's going to put on the clothes of Taurus, and we're going to approach all of those topics from the theme of Taurus. So Taurus is earth. So it brings this groundedness. And I love that um, we're going to have Mars go into Virgo at that time. Okay. So it'll be this earthy, Mars will go into Virgo on the 17th, excuse me, of June. So it'll start bringing in this groundedness. I'm telling you, I need the groundedness. I feel like I have been ungrounded probably since last November. I have not felt grounded. There was just so much impactful astrology at that time, and it has just slowly but surely started to settle down. It wasn't like it just all came together. So we'll feel more grounded. Taurus is about manifesting. And so it may be that more of what we have been working to manifest is actually manifesting. We can feel more abundant, more worth, more value. And I just cannot move away from emphasizing, and I'm going to pull up something real quickly, but I can't move away from emphasizing the importance of having a dream, having a goal, staying in a place of looking to the future, seeing the future. Okay. I don't know how to get, oh, here it is down here. Seeing the future, because we need to give the universe what we desire, what we want. We don't necessarily all the time know how it will happen, but we have to continue to let the universe know that it's like we have something that we aspire to. We have something that we wish to attract and to manifest. It is very good and healthy. And that just kind of is connected to this Neptune also that's in Aries, right around this first degree. This energy, it's very creative energy that we have over there. Saturn, even being there in Aries, it wants to crystallize a thing. So I think in June, we may be able to see that we're able to make some things happen for ourselves. And I can't overstate the importance of remembering we're at a time of intense new beginnings. The reset button of the world is being pushed. And so, open yourself up to the new way, the new thing, whatever it is. You definitely have to keep yourself in that vein. And so, Venus and Taurus, it can definitely help with that. Now, also, this is a money sign. Venus is a money planet. So it could be bringing up topics around money. It all depends on where this is happening in your chart, but generally something around money. I also want to just talk about the word value. Okay. Value is very, very important when we're talking about Venus in Taurus. So, you know, we think about money, but we also want to think about it's kind of like, what do you value? Maybe we could think about your own personal values. It cannot be overstated the importance of um first of all, being aware of what your values are and making sure that you stay aligned. I feel like we can't really manifest money. We can't really be abundant like Venus and Taurus if we are misaligned with our values. But also, what I want you to do during this time is I want you to take time and see the value in your life. Take stock of the blessings that overflow. We often think about what we don't have, but what I want you to do while Venus is in Taurus is I want you to focus on what you do have. I want you to see the value in you, see the value in your life, in the relationships that you have, in the job, in the experiences that you have. So, yes, Venus in Taurus. See the value in your relationships. Value the lessons, the hard times, the challenging things that happen. What can you learn from that will, serve as wisdom for you as you move forward in terms of the relationships that are important to you, and the ones that are good, the ones that are working. See the value in that is a part of our wealth, a part of our riches. Then we have Venus and Taurus. It has to do with our how we're taking care of ourselves and food. Okay, so you want to be making sure that you are valuing yourself so that you're taking care of yourself. You want to give thanks for the abundance of food that you have, no matter how much it is. Give thanks. So I love that. Venus and Taurus, very earthy. Get out into nature, commune with all of the energy of nature, all of the Orisha, and that's Taurus. That is Taurus. Then we're going to have two planets go in, well, really three planets go into Cancer. So first we're going to have Mercury go into Cancer, and that's going to be on June 8th. And then we're going to have Jupiter go into Cancer, and that is on June 9th. So that's three planets within 4 days that are moving into new signs. That's kind of impactful because every time one of these planets goes into a new sign, it shifts how we see things. And then we'll see the sun go into Cancer on the 20th. Happy Cancer season to all of the Cancerians, sun, moon, and rising. So it will begin to intensify this energy of Cancer. What I like to start off with is Cancer. Cancer is what is called a cardinal sign. Cardinal sign means it's time to get things going. The cardinal signs point us in the various directions, the big four. And so, with this Cancerian energy being ignited, it's going to cause a lot of new beginnings. And so, where may we see these new beginnings? On the home front. Maybe people are going to be moving. Maybe people are going to be doing new things to their homes. We'll also see it within family. New beginnings regarding your family. And it could be, like the one that I share the most is the one that I've experienced since I found astrology in 2017. Um, my children, whenever I have a activation of this type of Cancerian energy, it was always one of my kids was leaving. Something was shifting with the children. So maybe You know, something will be happening with your children, maybe something happening with your parents. It definitely brings up familial topics, something with the ancestors. I can imagine with Jupiter moving into Cancer that there are going to be a lot of people who are going into genealogy. I would be willing to put money. What is that called? Is it genealogy? Ancestry.com. Just watch. We might want to invest in some stock. No, I'm joking. I really don't know how to talk to people about that kind of thing, but I'm willing to bet there's going to be a lot of people deep into their history. It is a great time to honor your ancestors, to bring your family together. I will say it can make you extremely nostalgic. Cancer is very psychic, so it heightens psychic energy for for a year, because Jupiter will be there for a year. And so it'll heighten psychic energy, intuition. This is an energy that's about caring, nurturing, that kind of thing. And it matches this Venus up here in Taurus. So June is a month where I hope that where you feel that call to take care of yourself, that you listen to it, that you take that time for the self-care, the self-love, the self-nurturance. And self means you might pay somebody to do something for you, but you're taking that time out to care for yourself. That's a lot of energy of care and nurturance with the Virgo and, excuse me, the Taurus, the Cancer, and now that I mentioned the Virgo. Okay. Virgo is definitely about taking care of yourself. And so it's all about, what are you eating? Are you exercising? What is your lifestyle like? How does it need to be adjusted so that you can be healthier? Virgo wants you to be more efficient, and it wants order and organization. So June looks very nurturing in terms of like where we will be focusing our energy. It'll definitely be largely in water and earth, which are feminine. All right. Now, Virgo, Mars moving into Virgo. Let me just, before I start off with that, big deal, big freaking deal, because Mars first went into Leo last year in 2024. It started retrograding in Leo, went back well into Cancer. So, even now that I think about it, Mars will still be in Cancer when Mercury and Jupiter in Cancer. So that Cancerian energy has been heightened because of Mars being there. So it's like the next stage, the next thing that we're being called to do in terms of that care. Well, I'm sorry, cancel what I just said. Mars is not in Cancer. Mars went back into Cancer, then it came into Leo. That's what I meant to say. So Mars is out of Cancer. It's been out of Cancer. It's in Leo, but it went into Leo in last year in December. My goodness, that is a long time. That's a very long time. So Mars moving into a new sign, and I bet Mars wants to be out of Cancer. It doesn't do well in Cancer. Okay. I always get it confused, but I think it's in fall is what it's called. Fall detriment. It's not good in Cancer in plain terms, because it's exalted in um, Capricorn. So the opposite sign of where where the planet is exalted, it is not doing well. Is not doing well. So um, I don't know why I want to say Jupiter. I can't even erase this out of this video. Anywho, Jupiter's great in Leo. I don't know why I'm skipping Leo. Jupiter's great in Leo. Sorry, Leos. I know that is like totally rude to diss the royalty like that. But Mars has been great in Mars. I mean, in Leo. I think what I'm trying to say is it's like moving and doing something new. It's finally out of the one of the retrograde signs. Okay. So Mars goes into Virgo, and it's okay in Virgo. It's okay. The only difference is this, Virgo is earth. Mars is fire. Virgo is like, whoa, 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 whoa. We got some stuff that we need to get, worked out. And Mars doesn't want to pay attention to all the details all of the time. So, but Virgo is a sign where it's like you can get a lot done. So I do encourage you leading up to Mars going into Virgo, get a to-do list together, because baby, Mars in Virgo, you can get a lot done. And I think, it can help you with the exercising and eating right. It can help you get focused, that kind of thing. Be super passionate about it. So yeah, I just kind of feel like Mars is ready for something new. That's really what I've been trying to say, even though I've been saying the wrong sign for some reason. The reason is I'm tired. I am so tired from since since April. I'm exhausted. So my brain isn't fully on. Okay. So yeah, Mars goes into Virgo on the 17th of June. Then we're gonna have Sun in Cancer. And I've talked about Cancer in general. So yeah, it's going through its yearly visit to Cancer. So that is awesome. And then we're going to start bringing in more Leo with Mercury going into Leo on the 26th of June. So we'll have Mercury in Cancer, Mercury in Leo. And Mercury makes our mind get fixed on a certain thing. So it's Leo topics. Leo is actually fun. It wants to have a good time, romance. To a certain degree, we could talk about fashion. It is a sign of a model, one of the signs of the model, and it's the leader. And Leo is this energy of brilliance and creativity. So Mercury being there in Leo, it really can give us a brilliant mind, some brilliant ideas, which is Mercury. Creative ideas. Mercury is a fun planet. Leo is fun. So maybe you want to go out and have a little fun with Mercury in Leo. You might want to get out and about. It's the summertime. Come on, baby. As a matter of fact, Sun in Cancer. Oh my goodness. The summer solstice. So yeah, it'll be time to, it's like vacation time to get out and have a blast. So make sure you do that. And so yeah, that's what I'll share about that. So then we're gonna have that full moon in Sagittarius. And I'll talk a little bit more about that when I get there, but we're in Gemini season, of course, until we get to Cancerian season. So Gemini, yeah, that's why we have this Sagittarius full moon. Maybe at the Sagittarius new moon, you set some intentions, and we're 6 months out from it now. That's how we look at it. This is the full moon of the last Sagittarius new moon, which was at the end of 2024. So is something manifesting? You can go back and look at your intentions at that time, or maybe go look at your calendar, your social media, to figure out, were you focused on something? Do you remember setting some intentions around that time? And at this full moon, you'll be able to get some insight around it. Sagittarius is a fire moon. Let's see here. So on that day, we'll still have Mars in Leo. So it brings energy. It's going to bring some extra energy. Oh, we have Saturn and Neptune and Aries. Yeah, so it'll bring energy and fun. And I want y'all to use this Sagittarius full moon to be given some type of guidance, to be given some type of perspective, to be given some wisdom that can guide you from now until the Sagittarius new moon in the fall. All right. Beautiful, beautiful energy. I don't know what the aspects that are there, but Sagittarius is great. Maybe somebody who's written a book will see that the book has been published, or um maybe if you've been working to really promote yourself, you'll see at this Sagittarius moon, you've like more people know you or something like that. And yeah, so maybe some foreign travel for some people also. So just enjoy that moon. I don't care what aspects are there. I haven't even looked at it yet, but Sagittarius is one of those fun moons. It's Gemini season. Enjoy as best you can. All right. And then we're going to have that new moon in Cancer. I'm going to be honest with y'all. Jupiter going into Cancer is a big deal. Jupiter is exalted in Cancer. It only comes to Cancer once every 12 years. And the fact that, we're having the Cancer new moon after Jupiter is in Cancer. Oh, it's going to be amazing. It's amazing. It's blessed. We have the planet, the great benefic Jupiter in Cancer, where it's exalted and a new moon. Haven't looked at the aspects to see, let's see here, Cancer. Well, it depends on where we have it. The only part that I think could be challenging. Let's see where this new moon is going to be before I speak too soon. Yeah, just what I thought. I thought it. I said, I think that moon is going to be in the early degrees of Cancer. So it'll have its challenges. It really will. But I don't care. I am so, so happy. Jupiter is in Cancer on the day of that new moon. Cancer is, like I said, a sign of new beginnings. So come on, y'all. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. New beginnings in the sign of new beginnings, new moon in the sign of new beginnings. Let's do this. Set those intentions. Set those intentions. Jupiter does go on June 6th, invisible. When I noticed it the other day on my live stream, I was just like, I'm not going to say anything yet. I'm just not happy. I don't want Jupiter to go invisible, but such is life. The planets, the visible planets, when they get close to the sun, they go invisible. And it will be invisible until July 12th. So it needs rest. And it makes the experience of Jupiter more internal. So we'll feel this energy of growth and expansion be turned inward. You'll be given an opportunity maybe to see where you need to grow, where you need to apply wisdom that you haven't applied it. And its energy is not accessible to the world. So, it's the energy of judges. So I'm just praying because the judiciary in the United States has been very helpful. But whatever, yeah, whatever. We everything happens exactly how it's supposed to, Tyra. Um, and then Saturn and Neptune almost conjunct on June 17th. So I assume that the third week in June can be a little bit intense. Maybe even, the last part, maybe from the 12th through the 21st. Let's see what happens there. Ooh, Jupiter square Neptune. I'll talk about all of that more as we go through the week, but that's a big deal. Jupiter square Neptune. Yeah, this week right here, I'm not sure about this week. Um Yeah, for all the places where these planets are going, some of the transits are kind of challenging because they're all bunched together too. But I always say we survived 2020, and thus far we have survived 2025. We're gonna make it. We were born for such a time as this. Okay, let me just really quickly pull from one of my decks. One moment. All righty. So the first card I pulled, like I love this reading so much. It is the Wheel of Fortune. This is from my Mythical Goddess Tarot deck. Lakshmi. And guess what? Lakshmi is the planet Jupiter. Okay. I told y'all Jupiter going into Cancer, baby. It's going to be amazing. She has to do with wealth, divine power, prosperity, spiritual enlightenment, good fortune, manifestation, abundance, prosperity on all levels. She It says Lakshmi's gifts often come when least expected. She showers her abundance on all living beings, whether you ask for it or not, when hoped for and when unexpected. She has purity of consciousness and she communes with the divine. And and she invites you to change your fortune by being open to the opportunities that she brings. She shows you how to turn your life in a positive direction when you pay attention and align with her creative flow, where heaven and all its gifts come through into manifestation on earth. And one of the things you can do is open yourself to receive a boon of blessings from Lakshmi. And I just encourage you to stand and hold your hands in an open position, a receptive position. And like she says, if she invites you to an opportunity, you have to take it. But that Jupiter in Cancer, I think, is going to just automatically begin to bring some blessings, which makes me happy. Jupiter goes invisible and then it goes into Cancer. And so if it's going to be invisible, baby, let it be invisible in Cancer. Okay. Okay. So the next card that I pulled is the Yemaya card. Yemaya, Yemonja. Guess what she is in this deck? And I know it'll sound counterintuitive, but just roll with me, rock with me. Virgo. Virgo. And it's because here the way the creator of this deck describes it is Yemaja sits firmly grounded in the seas of the earth. Okay, so it's this connection of the sea to the earth. So she's Virgo. Oh my goddess. She is the mother of all, ultimate female power, soother of heart troubles, carrying deep, unknowable power. She is contemplation and divine introspection as a Virgo, complete and whole unto herself. And this in this deck, she's Virgo, and I love what they describe. I don't dispute this. And I also know that this is the same energy as Cancer. Yemaya or Yemoja is the same energy as Cancer. This is the mother energy. I really and truly believe that despite the challenges of the month, that there's going to be a lot of blessings bestowed by Lakshmi, Jupiter in Cancer, Yamaya, just all of this Cancerian energy. Now, this is the energy of the oracle. So they say she's Virgo, but she stands for the oracle. So it's all about tapping into the psychic knowing within you, tapping into your inner wise woman, your inner prophet. And also, Virgo is about discipline. Remember, lifestyle. So it says, through the spiritual discipline of taking time daily to be alone and apart from the busy world, you illuminate the bridge to the source in yourself and shine the light for others. So this is great, especially with me being a child of Yemonja and the way I am so big on spiritual practice. To me, that is like the number one thing that I teach outside of goddess. Is it's important to have a daily spiritual practice and you do it day in and day out, and it will sustain you, right? And so that's something that she's talking about, because when you take that time to be in your spiritual practice, this is where the gifts of prophecy and intuitive ability are nurtured and expanded. And so, it's a conversation I've been having with the ladies who are getting their Lekes with me. I'm like, people want all this spiritual power, they want all this deep spiritual knowing, but they don't understand. And the as my Baba would say, the divinities, they know who's ready for it and who's not. Because sometimes if you're not ready to receive some spiritual wisdom, it's almost like you can't even hear it, you can't understand it, you may not even see it. But if it's presented, it just won't land. And for people who, want to do something wrong with it, something like take advantage in some kind of way, the divinities know that too. The wisdom knows that. The deep spiritual knowingness, it knows. It doesn't wanna be mishandled. So it is looking for people who have that spiritual practice, perhaps need the wisdom, but they know that the wisdom will be used appropriately, but it will be used. And so and the only way you can use it is if you see it, right? So engage that spiritual practice, and also that is going to deepen your ability to, prophesy in your own life, or um, you know, tap into that inner intuition. The last card I pulled is the love card. It has to do with water. So one of the water cards. Oh, look at this. It's Venus in Cancer. So it's still bringing in this Cancerian energy, but it's also bringing in that Venusian energy. And this card is all about, to a certain degree, it's about vulnerability. I need to write that down. It's about vulnerability, because in order to experience love and in relationship, you've got to be willing to be vulnerable. It's hard to stay armored and to be in relationships with people. I've known people say, I so badly want to connect with this person, but they always have up a wall. And so in order, and it doesn't matter if it's love, friendship, if you are wanting to invite in more connection to people, like I said, part of this month, the energy is Geminian, which is about connecting. Then it's Cancerian, which is about family. So I just wonder if we need to open ourselves up more to our relationships. Is there some relationship that needs us to lean in instead of, you know, putting up that armor? Um Mhm. Maybe that's the wealth. One of the main pieces of wealth for us this month is the relationships. Is the relationships. Okay, well, that's what I have for you all. Thank you so, so much for being here. And I wish you a beautiful, beautiful June. And yeah, I'll see you on one of my live streams and another video, all that kind of good stuff. Thank you so, so much. All right. Happy June.